Danger zone. He's back in his bird, sensors off and flying hard. There are a series of drones above Vuxa 5, each one projecting a large ring of light for him to fly through. Simple enough, even without sensors. Less so when the little bastards are constantly shifting their positions to force him to adjust. There is no flight plan. There is no set path. He has to hit them all in order, and half the little bastards are outright trying to avoid him. Oh no, you don't, you little bastard. He grits out as he increases power to his engines and launches after a drone that decided to flee for its life rather than let him fly through the projected ring. It did make sense. The exercise did. Each marker was only visible from the next one, so it was all one continuous path. But like a confusing dogfight, it was going to shift and change in moments. He needed to be able to adjust in less than a second. He banks his maneuvering thrusters and the fighter outright flips in the air before he guns the engines harder to fly through the ring the annoying as hell drone is projecting. He doesn't see the next one, so he starts spinning and catches a glimpse of the green thing blending in with the planet somewhat. He makes a clucking sound and charges hard, swooping through the array far more easily than the last. He cannot see the next one and gives his jet another spin before banking. That's when he spots it. The previous drone reactivated. He has to go back through. Someone thinks they're funny. He goes through it again and does a quick banking. It's active again? The hell is going on? He charges through the array a third time and finally sees a drone in the distance activate. Then he mentally pauses even as he adjusts his course to charge down the next target. Why is he annoyed? That was a big simulation of coming back to the same target to bombard it time after time. Something you occasionally have to do. Why was it annoying him? Something to chew through later. Right now he focuses more on piloting, especially as the next target decides that it really doesn't like him and takes off at an appreciable speed. Although there is something niggling at the back of his mind. He's missing something, but it's not dangerous, he doesn't know. He flies through another 20 targets and gets the signal from the base below to come down and let the next pilot up. Eventually, they'll be flying these with all 4 flights in the sky, but first they needed to get individually used to this. He feels a sort of pulling thump in his everything as he goes from artificial gravity in the cockpit to the actual gravity of Vuxa. There are little telltale differences, although it's very hard to articulate. Almost a texture to natural gravity that artificial doesn't have. Still, if you know what you're looking for, you can tell without any tools if you're in artificial or natural gravity. He touches down with a bit of a thump and climbs out before stretching and running over to the rest of the squad. Woo! That was bracing. When can I go up again? In a bit, we still need to get through the rest of Red Squadron. Triple D remarks as Double Tap finishes climbing into his fighter and quickly takes off. Damn, I'm halfway down the list. Perfect spot to be little buddy. You get to see the mistakes others make and you're not too long after them. Triple D remarks even as Hugh scales Chonky to get a better look. He's just ignored by the massive platen and allowed to watch the view screen that shows Double Tap's flight pattern. And it is a pattern. It wasn't something he really noticed before, but wait a minute. Can you show a readout of the previous flights? Hugh asks, and after a bit of fiddling, there's a display of Triple D's flight. No, not like that. I mean, can you show a tracing of where all the previous flights, including mine, went and how it all lines up with Double Tap's? No. Triple D states outright, and there's a laugh around the group even as Hugh crosses his arms and glares. Giving me the stink eye won't change the fact I have to flipping clue how to do what you just asked of me. Yeah, I know there's just something up. Double Tap currently, Chonky says with a chuckle. No. Well, I mean yes, but not that. There's something in the pattern. It's a simulation of all of you swarming a larger ship and bombarding it to hell. Each of us has a different flight plan and different simulated targets, but all of us are working together. You probably noticed that. Oh, no one told me that. It wasn't important. We're all flying a pattern and the patterns are practical. Would you rather be trying to spell your name with contrails or paint a pretty three-dimensional picture with your flying? Triple D asks, and there's some chuckling as Hugh coughs into his fist. A little embarrassed, but otherwise all right. All right, so what kind of ship is it? Contrail asks, as he leans in and blocks Hugh's view a little, prompting the Cobe to bend over and push his head to the side. He liked towering over the tall ones, even if he did need a leg or shoulder up. Same class of bombardment ship as is in the defense fleet. Anything smaller than that can easily be taken out by ground-to-space artillery. In fact, the flight pattern is to specifically weaken its shields and defenses so the artillery can finish the job. Interesting, Giggles notes in his way. If he makes his name any more ironic, he's going to physically combust next time it's used to refer to him. Interesting in what way? Manic prompts in a teasing tone. Just interesting is the only answer Giggles gives out. There are some good-natured eye rolls. If the man's a stick in the mud, it means he's reliable but no fun. Still reliable is a great trait for a teammate to have. Double Tap apparently refuses to dial down his accelerator and actually misses a few targets on the first pass and has to circle back. The downside of going really fast. It's a bitch to turn. For some reason, he fires off a few plasma shots as he flies and they streak through the sky. It's daylight out, however, and those shots are good and invisible. Double Tap. What the hell are you doing? You don't need to shoot anything. Triple D demands into the communicator he just whipped out while still holding up the view screen. I know. It's boring. Besides, I didn't hit anything and it's not like plasma costs anything. That is not the point. You could have hit someone. But I didn't, so stop bitching. I will hurt you if you do something that stupid again. Do you understand me? Oh, what are you gonna do? Tell Sneck Momi on me? Slap me on the wrist? Double Tap taunts him and Triple D's antenna twitches in frustration. I will personally remove several components from your fighter. I can and will ground you, pilot. Do not make me. Triple D threatens. Triple D. All right. Keep your shirt on, Captain. Jeez, Double Tap says as he goes through more of his flight path and hits the last few targets. He then begins his descent. Oh, he gonna get it. Chonky notes and Hugh snickers. All right, Chonky, get ready to fly. You boys watch the feed. I need to skin Double Tap alive. Triple D says, passing the screen to Giggles and all but marching off, even as Hugh jumps off Chonky's shoulder. He's then pat on the head as the enormous Platin wanders off to his fighter and preps for his flight. Think he's really gonna do it? Heifer asks, and Hugh shakes his head. He was speaking metaphorically. Giggles states with all the subtlety of a brick to the face. I know that. Then why did you inquire in such a direction? Giggles asks. It was a joke. I see. Most amusing. Well done. Swear to God someone will beat a sense of humor into you someday. Manic grumbles. That is unlikely. Just unlikely? Not impossible? Manic presses. It is possible that sufficient trauma and emotional confusion could cause me to develop bipolar tendencies similar to your own. Giggles states, and there's a pause as they process just how hard Giggles brought down the hammer with a completely even tone and steady face. Ouch. You are uninjured. That still hurt. Words are merely atmospheric vibrations interpreted by language and personal understanding. They are incapable of harming another within the decibel range I utilize. You have to be fucking with me. Yes, you are. You have all accused me at one point or another of lacking a sense of humor, of being incapable of injecting levity into a situation. I have now done so. Ha ha. Giggles states out loud and everyone just stares at him as they try to process just what the hell is going on. They all miss Chonky taking off easily and are only snapped out when they start hearing Triple D giving double tap hell for firing off his plasma without a proper target. Chonky's flight pattern is less over the top as double taps. His slower speed gives him better turning control and allows him to quickly and easily clear through the flight plan. Halfway through, Triple D comes back with a fuming double tap in tow, and he takes over holding the view screen again. HFY, for his part, climbs up the back of Double Tap's clothing and earns a dirty look from the Tret in question. "I'm short. I need someone to stand on." "Whatever." "You all right?" HFY asks, and Double Tap just growls. "You know you can just go to a firing range after this, right? Get it out of your system." "Well, pardon the fuck out of me for wanting to have some fun on the job. No one got hurt. If it cost anything, it was less than a quarter tri-tight disc in value. And I get this level of hell? It's bullshit." "I think Triple D's most worried about you doing it again when we're all up at once. If that crosses someone's flight path at the wrong time, then you could kill a friendly. I don't want that. Do you?" "No. But there wasn't anyone up there but me, and there wasn't anything that could have been damaged except for easily replaced drones. Drones that I didn't even damage anyway." Triple D's head of the squad. It's his job to think of how everything can go wrong. When you fired those plasma shots, he probably imagined a gigantic disaster, and it freaked him out. "I know. He explained it to me. Worst case scenario, I could take out the entire squad with a reckless shot." "Yay. Scary stuff." "Complete bullshit. I wouldn't," Double Tap says. "Probably not, but we're flying at stupid fast speeds in small spaceships with huge amounts of weapons. That's a lot of trouble and danger as is. Why add to it on a whim? What are you angling for, second in command or something?" "No. Why?" "Because you're brown-nosing Triple D so hard that you got bug shit on you." "Fuck's sake. Forget it then. I'll just stand back and watch you get thrown off the squad then. Asshole." HFY spits back, kicking off Double Tap's back and walking away. He can almost feel Double Tap watching him leave, and hopefully that's gotten him to rethink things a little. He watches as Double Tap almost visibly wrestles with himself and then does this whole body sigh thing. He then goes to talk to Triple D, and HFY pumps his arm in triumph. Possible crisis averted. He grins in response as the two men talk in whispered tones. Triple D flashes him a thumbs up behind his back in thanks. Chonky comes back, and HFY rushes up to his favorite perch, climbs up and poses on the man's oversized shoulder. There's an indulgent shake of the man's head as Bird Brain pumps his Sonier wings and flies to his bird before settling in and quickly taking off to run his own flight plan. Chonky lets out a little chuckle. HFY looks down to him to see what that was about. "It will never not amuse me that we've nicknamed a person who evolved from a bat bird brain." "Heh," HFY agrees.